Warning signs. Your testosterone is dangerously low after 70. If you're over 70 and waking up tired, losing muscle, or feeling like a shadow of who you used to be, it might not be age at all. It could be a silent hormone crash, and it's stealing your life without a sound. I know that sounds dramatic, but I've lived it. And more importantly, I've watched too many friends ignore it until it was too late. Most of us expect aging to bring gray hair or stiff knees, but what they never tell you is that aging can also steal your spark, quietly, invisibly. Not all at once, but bit by bit. You stop laughing as often. You lose the desire to do the things you once loved. You start feeling flat, heavy, unmotivated, like someone dimmed the lights inside you. And we tell ourselves, it's just age. But what if it's not? What if something else is happening inside your body? A slow collapse of the one hormone that powers everything from your muscles and mood to your energy, confidence, and even your heart. That hormone is testosterone. And after 70 millions of men are living with dangerously low levels and have no idea. If this resonates with you, don't miss what's coming next. And if you believe content like this matters, hit the subscribe button so we can keep bringing you stories and solutions that no one else is talking about. Now let me ask you something which feels more true for you right now. A, I feel like myself, just older. B, I feel like I've become someone else, slower, dimmer, disconnected. Type your answer in the comments. A or B. Let's talk about what's really going on and what you can do starting today. Let me tell you something that most doctors won't say out loud. Testosterone isn't just about sex, and it's not just a young man's hormone. It's one of the core fuels of your body, your mind, and your dignity as a man. And after 70, it becomes more important than ever. Testosterone is what gives your muscles their strength, your heart, its rhythm, your bones, their density, and your mind, its edge. It's what sharpens your focus, lifts your mood, and allows you to feel purpose in your body. But here's what most men don't know. It doesn't just fade slowly over time. For many, especially after 70, it can drop off sharply, almost like a silent cliff. And when it does, it's not just physical strength that disappears. It's your spark. You start feeling less like yourself and more like an observer in your own life. Your motivation dries up. Your emotions flatten. Your memory feels foggy, and yet no one checks. No one warns you. Because we've been told that feeling this way is just getting older. It's not. Not entirely. After 70, the body's natural testosterone production often falls well below healthy levels, below 300 nanograms per deciliter, according to the American Urological Association. And the consequences go far beyond sex drive. Low testosterone is directly linked to increased risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, cognitive decline, and even early death. I wish someone had told me that sooner, because testosterone isn't a luxury. It's not optional. It's the quiet force that holds your body together when everything else starts to shift. When your knees ache, when your belly grows, despite not eating more, when your energy drops to the point that getting out of a chair feels like lifting bricks. That's not just age. That's your body asking for help. And the worst part? Most men don't even realize they can check. One simple morning blood test total and free testosterone could explain years of fatigue, irritability, or loss of strength. We check our tires more often than we check our hormones. But after 70, one matters far more than the other. And if this hormone really is dropping inside you, you deserve to know. So how do you know if testosterone is really dropping? Blood tests can confirm it, but your body usually speaks first. You just have to know how to listen. The first sign is muscle loss, even when you're staying active. You walk, you move, but your arms and legs still shrink. Climbing stairs starts to feel harder, and lifting even light objects becomes more taxing. It's not just aging, it's your body not getting the hormonal signal it needs to maintain strength. The second sign is a subtle but powerful loss of desire, not only sexual desire, but desire for life. You stop initiating plans, hobbies, even conversations. You don't feel pulled toward anything anymore. It's like someone quietly dimmed your internal drive. Third, persistent fatigue that doesn't match your activity level. You sleep a full night but wake up drained. You take breaks during the day but still feel worn down. It's a bone-deep tiredness that doesn't go away with rest because it isn't caused by exertion. It's caused by hormone depletion. Fourth, your mood changes in ways you can't quite explain. You become more irritable, anxious, or flat. You don't laugh as much. You feel less like yourself. These emotional shifts often go unnoticed by doctors, but they're real and they matter. Fifth, you notice changes in your body's appearance, thinner skin, more bruising, and weight that gathers around your midsection no matter what you eat. Testosterone helps regulate fat distribution and skin repair, and when it drops, these changes happen faster than you'd expect. And sixth, a silent threat loss of bone density. Most men don't think about osteoporosis, but when testosterone crashes, bones lose strength. You become more vulnerable to fractures, especially in the hips, spine, and wrists, even after a minor fall. Most men write off these changes as getting older, but I've come to see them as warning lights on the dashboard. You can ignore them for a while, but eventually something breaks. If any of these sound familiar, stay with me, because the next step is understanding what causes these changes and how to stop them before they take more from you. One of the hardest truths I had to face was this. I was doing some of the damage myself. Not on purpose, of course, but out of habit. Out of believing what I'd always been told, that slowing down was natural, that comfort mattered more than strength, that rest was enough. Looking back, I see how certain choices I made after 70 unknowingly sped up the decline of my testosterone. The first was neglecting real sleep. I was staying up late watching TV or scrolling through my phone and going to bed past midnight. But testosterone isn't built during shallow sleep. It's made during deep restorative sleep, and only if you get enough of it early in the night. Missing those hours meant missing the hormone my body desperately needed. Then there was the food. I wasn't eating poorly, but I wasn't eating for hormone health either. Toast, cereal, sweet snacks. They're easy, but they spike insulin and promote fat gain, which suppresses testosterone production. Add a glass of wine or a beer at night, and I was giving my body more estrogen than support. I also stopped challenging my muscles. Walking is good, but it's not enough. Your muscles send a signal to your body that says, stay strong, keep producing. Without resistance, lifting, pushing, pulling that signal fades, and so does the hormone. Medications played a role too. I was taking a statin and a low-dose steroid for years. No one told me they could suppress testosterone. I trusted the prescriptions, but didn't realize they came with invisible costs. The worst mistake, though, was assuming that if I wasn't in pain, everything was fine. I thought I could feel my way into health. But some changes are silent, and by the time symptoms show up, the damage is already deep. You don't have to make the same mistakes. And even if you've already made them, it's not too late to change course. But first, you have to know what you're doing and what it's really doing to you. The turning point for me came when I stopped guessing and finally got tested. Not a general physical, not a vague, "you're fine." I asked specifically for a morning testosterone blood test, both total and free testosterone levels taken before 10 a.m. when the hormone peaks. That one decision changed everything. The truth is, most doctors won't suggest this unless you bring it up. But after 70, it's not a luxury, it's essential. If your levels come back low, especially under 300 ng/dL, you're not just feeling tired, your entire body is trying to function without a key ingredient. But here's the good news. You don't always need injections or prescriptions to turn things around. In many cases, testosterone can be supported naturally if you're consistent and intentional about it. The first step is movement, not just walking, but resistance. Light strength training, even with resistance bands or body weight, sends a message to your body, "I'm still here. I still need strength." That signal triggers hormonal activity in ways no supplement can replace. Next is nutrition. I started focusing on foods that support hormone production: eggs, avocado, salmon, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, garlic, olive oil, and dark leafy greens. These foods give your body the cholesterol and micronutrients it needs to make testosterone naturally. Sleep is non-negotiable. I cut the screen time, kept my room dark and cool, and set a strict bedtime. The goal isn't just quantity, but deep, uninterrupted sleep, especially before midnight. That's when testosterone is made. And I added sunlight, 15 minutes of early morning sun, to boost vitamin D, which plays a direct role in testosterone production. None of these steps are extreme. They're not complicated, but they are powerful if done consistently. Most men wait for a crisis before they act. But you don't have to wait. You can listen now. Respond now. Rebuild from the inside out, starting today with nothing more than attention, discipline, and small, repeated actions. You have more control than you think. You just have to take the first step and follow through. Sometimes, even after doing everything right, eating clean, exercising, sleeping well, the needle barely moves. You still feel tired. You still feel flat. Your blood test still shows levels below 300. And that's when it's worth asking a deeper question. Is it time to consider testosterone therapy? TRT isn't about trying to feel 25 again. It's about restoring what your body no longer makes in a safe, medically guided way. But it's not for everyone. It's not a quick fix. And it's not without risks. That's why the first step is always proper testing, multiple readings, ideally in the morning, showing consistently low testosterone. Then a conversation with a doctor who actually understands hormone therapy, not just someone who checks a box. You may be a candidate if you've had persistent symptoms for more than 6 months. Your lifestyle changes haven't helped, and your levels are chronically low. But it also depends on your heart health, prostate history, and your goals. TRT requires regular monitoring of your red blood cells, PSA, blood pressure, to make sure it's helping, not harming. For me, I waited until I knew I'd done everything else. Only then did I discuss it with my doctor, and only under close supervision. The difference was real but gradual. More energy, more clarity, a quiet return of that inner fire. Testosterone therapy should never be a first move. But for some of us, it can be the final step toward reclaiming the strength that age tried to take. Getting older doesn't mean we lose who we are, but it does mean we have to listen more carefully to what our bodies are trying to tell us, even when the signs are quiet. Fatigue, muscle loss, low mood, lack of motivation. These aren't just signs of aging. Sometimes they're signals of a deeper imbalance that can be corrected if we're willing to face it. What I've learned is this real strength in this chapter of life isn't about pushing through pain or pretending everything's fine. It's about paying attention, asking the hard questions, and taking responsibility for the parts of our health that no one else can fix for us. Testosterone isn't about vanity or chasing youth. It's about keeping the engine running so we can show up for the people we love, do the things that still matter, and feel present in our own skin. If this message speaks to you, let it be a gentle call to action. Ask your doctor about testing. Start adding small habits that support your hormones: better sleep, stronger food choices, light resistance exercises. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just have to begin. And above all, stay curious, stay engaged. You've earned the right to feel good in your body, not just survive, but live fully even now. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one part of your health that you've ignored, but now realize deserves more attention? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I read them, I value them, and your story might help someone else watching right now. If this video helped you in any way, please consider subscribing. It helps us grow this community of thoughtful, independent seniors who want to stay informed and empowered. And if you feel called to support future videos, you're welcome to make a small contribution. The link is below. Take care of yourself. The strongest version of you is still there. Let's bring him back one step at a time.